Okay, let's review some of the concepts maybe we are not still understanding from our daily language review. Okay, so we're going to look at Monday. Monday, most of them you guys know pretty well. There's maybe two that we're still struggling with, so we're going to go through some examples. And I want you to use what I'm teaching you right now to your advantage to help you complete your Monday daily language review. So the first one is a non-restrictive element. This is actually question number 3 every Monday. So you can use your previous weeks to help you. So non-restrictive element, first you need to know what it is. It's when you add extra information about the subject of the sentence without changing the meaning. To add a non-restrictive element, you should put the extra information around commas, parentheses, or dashes. Okay, so let's look at a few examples. My sister can read chapter books. This is just a regular simple sentence. Simple sentence, right? So what you need to do first, the way to do this is to find your subject. Your subject is your sister, who or what the sentence is about. Then write down that subject. My sister. Read the directions, see if you're adding commas, dashes, or parentheses. In this case, we're adding commas. Who turned 5 can read chapter books. Notice this is my non-restrictive element. This is information I am adding to my sentence. Okay, if I took that out, it would be the exact same sentence it was up here. Your regular simple sentence. My sister can read chapter books. Okay, so we're adding in that information. That's what it's asking you to do. Let's look at another example. The students all passed their language arts test. Here is my regular simple sentence. First thing we need to do is to find the subject, who or what the sentence is about. The whole sentence is about the students. Okay, so write down the students. Then read your directions and see if you're adding in extra information with dashes, commas, or parentheses. And in this case, you are doing dashes. Here's your dash. And then you can say something to describe the students. And I put in 6th grade. Put another dash around it. All passed their language arts test. Notice, this is my extra information. It's in my dashes. It's added to the sentence. If I took it out, it would take me back to this same sentence, okay? So that's what we're doing. We're just adding information that can be taken out or put back in. So I want you to keep using that knowledge to help you do question number 3. After that is question number 4, is pronouns. You guys actually do really well at identifying pronouns. However, I think we're stuck maybe on if the pronoun is subjective, objective, or possessive. So the best way to do this is to figure out which pronoun sounds correct. And that's simple enough. Read the sentence, see which one sounds correct. Then figure out where it's located. So subjective pronouns. Subjective pronouns are in the subject. Subjective, subject. Okay? Objective pronouns are in the predicate. They're the object of the sentence. That's why they're called objective. However, the easiest way to know it is that they're in the predicate. And then possessive pronouns show ownership. So that's mine. That's an example of a ownership pronoun, okay? So first, what you do, identify your pronoun, then figure out where it's located in our sentence. So let's look at a few examples. Rick made sure to wear his helmet. First, find our pronoun. Our pronoun is his. It's not specific, but it is talking about our antecedent, which is Rick. Now we need to figure out where that pronoun is located. Is it in the subject of the sentence? Is it in the predicate of the sentence? Is it possessive? Well, it's his helmet. So therefore, it is possessive. Let's look at the next one. Barry was only trying to help you. Where's my pronoun? Well, my pronoun is you. Now, is that subjective in the subject of the sentence? Is that the object in the predicate of the sentence? Or is it showing ownership? Well, it's towards the end of the sentence, and towards the end of the sentence is our predicate, so this is objective. And last but not least, we hailed the taxi to get to the store. Where's our pronoun? We. Now, is this the subject of the sentence? Is it subjective? Is it the predicate of the sentence? Objective? Or is it possessive? Well, it's in the beginning of our sentence, so it is subjective, okay? So just find that pronoun and see where it's located in the sentence or what its purpose is, and then you will be able to identify the type of pronoun it is, okay? So use this knowledge that you just are kind of repeating and reapplying to your daily language review to help you on questions 3 or 4. I think the rest of them you guys have been doing well. However, I'm going to make sure that I look at those 3 and 4 for a grade. Okay, so apply your knowledge, make sure your 3 and 4 are right, and if you need help, let me know.